Coronavirus, or COVID-19, has swept the world, and as governments react, Dr. Brad Tucker and I are diving into this Talkin' Science Story of the Week.
Across Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts and YouTube, this is Talking Science with Dr. Brad Tucker and Matt Miller.
2020's testing us.
Yeah, look, it's pushing us to the brink. And look, we had an extra day this year as well. Of all the crappy years to have an extra day, it's 2020.
Yeah, just one thing after another, especially for Australia. I don't think it's necessarily been too bad for the rest of the world, although COVID-19 has sort of been around for the year, but for us here in Australia, it's just...
It's one thing after another, yes.
Yes, absolutely insane. And you were saying off air as well that you guys are reacting to the situation with over 200 events cancelled. That's
right. So there's no events happening essentially at Mount Stromlo and ANU at least until end of June. So all of my events, other places and events here are canceled to prevent large gatherings. From Monday, pretty much all the cultural attractions and museums in Canberra will shut. Parliament House will be reduced staff, even for like the politicians. They're only allowed a certain amount of people here. So, it's definitely something people are taking serious. And on a personal note, my wife's an emergency doctor, so she knows she's not going to have a life for the next 3 months.
Yes, of course.
They've already been told, you won't have a life for the next 3 months because they're going to get sick and then, they'll be overwhelmed. And so it's, as when we talk science, it's in the truest sense, there's a reason people are taking these precautions. We know what happens. We've done these experiments. You can look at the data and you clearly know what to do and what you shouldn't do. And, it's not being hysterical. Maybe the TP issue, toilet paper issue is a different story, but preventing mass gatherings does help. You don't randomly get 1,000 extra hospital beds and doctors to help you out of nowhere, and then people still normally get sick.
Yes.
Right. Aside from this,
it's still the normal sickness to deal with. Yeah,
people will need surgeries, and they'll have car accidents and allergic reactions. All that stuff still doesn't stop because of coronavirus.
And it's really funny. Someone mentioned to me last week that you don't realize these things until you work in that industry, just how much actually goes on. Like being an ED doctor, you don't realize just how much goes on. We sit here at home and sort of go, oh yes, hospitals are there, but yeah, they're busy. Aircraft as well, the movements of travel plans and stuff like that, you don't realise until you work in the industry just how much logistics is involved in saying, okay, that's it, we're going to have 14 days of self-isolation if you're coming to Australia from overseas. Yeah. These are some big decisions and some drastic steps that have been taken to try and flatten that curve. The big buzz phrase at the moment.
But it's true. It's I was talking with my wife 5 weeks ago, and she said pretty much what's happening in Italy. Said verbatim, this is what's going to happen to places that don't react, because that's what happens, and the rates are holding true. So listen to the advice. It's kind of like when we're talking to fires. You don't need to panic, but take the necessary precautions and listen to the experts. That's the reason they're here, just as the reason we're talking space.
Exactly right. Well, be aware and be prepared, of course. Yes. The great thing, I think, and from a non-expert such as myself, I believe that the virus counts or the cases in China are slowing down. So possibly we're almost... not for the world, but in terms of it coming out of the epicenter, and scientists at UQ believe that they're very close to a cure, an antidote. So it's not a forever thing, but it's certainly a foreseeable future thing.
Definitely.